Hey everybody. Well, the warm weather is upon us, and I received a text from someone who wanted to know if there was some sort of dessert that can be made that doesn't have dairy or eggs in it. They have allergies. So I thought for a few seconds, and sorbet. Essentially, sorbet is fruit, sugar, and water that you process together, freeze, and serve just like an ice cream. Now, if any of you have been to a fancy dinner or a marriage perhaps, usually you have sorbet in between the main courses just as a palate cleanser. You eat something heavy and the sorbet just basically refreshes the mouth and gets you ready for the next course. Or you can just have it as a simple dessert. It doesn't have the masking properties of dairy. You get an intense fruit flavor. It's very straightforward to make. And it's believed that the Persians have introduced sorbet in the form of shaved ice and fruit to the rest of Europe, and then it spread. You get sorbetto in Italy, you get sorbet in France, but it comes from the word sharab, or to drink, in Arabic. In any event, I'm going to show you a very simple, straightforward way to make sorbet. If you have an abundance of fruit, or if you find a special on the prices of fruit at your supermarket or even in your backyard, here's a cost-effective way to have a frozen dessert during these hot times. Anyways, let's check it out. For ingredients: 250 grams of sugar, 100 mils of water, 650 grams of fruit, in this case cherries, peaches, nectarines, and a bit of ginger. So here's how we go about it. We take our ginger, and this is going to infuse our syrup. Now you can use any kind of fruit that you'd like. Just keep the percentages between 30 and 70% fruit. Okay, here we go, making the simple syrup. So we take our 250 grams of sugar and we put it into a nice saucepan. Just like this, it's all in there. Next, we're going to add our 100 mils of water to the sugar. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this on a medium-high heat and constantly stir it until all the sugar dissolves. Looks like this. Clear, no crystals. We let it boil for 3 minutes at 185, and in the meantime, we chop up the 4 grams of ginger roughly, just like this, big pieces. Then what we do is we take our chopped ginger and we put it into our boiled syrup. We're going to leave this infuse, steep, just like a cup of tea. Now once the syrup is cooled down, we're going to transfer it into another container. We're going to put it in the fridge with a cover and let it mature for about 4 hours. This really helps infuse the flavors, makes everything nice. Just like this. So while we're waiting, we're going to puree all that fruit that we have, all the cherries, nectarines, and everything. Put it into a bowl, and after 4 hours, we put our cold syrup into our fruit. Now you could strain off the ginger if you like, but I'm going to be blending it again, so it's going to be all emulsified and into small pieces anyway. But the choice is yours. Anyways, we're going to blend it, and this gives a smoother texture to our finished product. A granita is granular, but a sorbet is nice and smooth, so you want to pulse it up, make sure you get those crystals nice and smooth. But if you like a harder texture, don't blend it a second time. And if you don't want the ginger pieces, strain them out. Anyhow, we're going to put this into an ice cream churn, just like this. And then what we're going to do is let the machine do the work. Just going to churn, make sure that the ice crystals are broken up into smaller, smoother texture. And as soon as it starts to stiffen, your sorbet is ready to go into the freezer. And it's as simple as that. And there you have it. Your sorbet is done. We're ready to transfer it into an airtight container and put it in the freezer. So we take it, scoop it into a nice container, just like this, spread it out, and then we're going to let it sit in the freezer until it's ready for service. Now sorbet is a good option. There are no eggs, no fat. It's just fruit, water, and sugar. Simple, classic, a really good way to cleanse the palate, or just to have a nice frozen dessert. It's vegan friendly and easy to do. And for service, I just put it into a stemmed glass just like this, little champagne coupe. Scoop out your sorbet, and for a little garnish, I'm going to put a mint leaf in there. A wonderful way to finish a meal, especially if you have something heavy. Sorbet, everybody. Cheers.